Hello YouTubers, here on a Sunday, so February 5th. It's about 5 o'clock, I think. My clock, yeah. 5 after 5, and I'm looking at my very clean garage. Look at that. Woohoo. Everything's all cleaned out. Look at that. I got this thing back all the way. There we go. Yeah, you can actually walk and dance through here. I have about 25% cleaning it. That'll all, all this stuff here will go away in about another, let's see, another 3 months. I'll haul this all in for scrap. And I got some other stuff. I actually got the oil kind of all put up underneath there. Got the big jugs down there and kind of on up. So I got some buckets full of it, but I'll use it up eventually. So I have the bench cleared off most of the way. But now I have 3 new projects. Hey, here they are. This is a Rototiller. It is a Mantis, made by Mantis. It's probably some kind of Homelite styled engine on it, 50-to-1. And that one has been sitting for, this one has been sitting for 5 years, the Mantis has. So, that's pretty cool. And then we have a Homelite chainsaw, and that one's been sitting for, 10 years. Got some old stuff here. And then we have a Homelite zip start. Oh God, I hope that's a good thing. And the Homelite, or the blower, has sat for 3 years. So this looks like an array of different stuff. That Mantis looks kind of weird. But boy, once you start that thing up, I bet you she just goes. Or maybe there's I see there's some kind of gripping thing here. I don't know if that's a throttle. This must be like an on and off switch here. Alright, we'll have to clean that up a little bit, but yeah, so we got 3 new projects. I'm probably going to get into these after I get back from my trip. We're going to the Mexican Riviera. I'm not sure what all the places we go. I'm kind of like that. My Flo knows where we're going, and I'll look on the sheet of paper we get with the tour group. I can't think of the names right off the top of my head. I was busy cleaning my garage, getting stuff done. So 7 days. We'll be out during the Super Bowl, which is pretty cool. We'll be watching the Super Bowl on this giant screen they have on the boat. It's probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 feet across and about 10 feet tall. It's huge. It's huge. So we'll be watching the Chiefs play. So it'll be interesting. I got to get packed up and get ready to go. But those are my 3 new projects. So here's the start of a new video. Alright. See ya, and we'll be starting on something here. I'm not sure what I want to start on first. I think I might start on the Mantis first. Start on the Rototiller. I've worked on chainsaws and blowers over the years, but I never worked on a Rototiller. I mean, it's a 2-cycle engine. But, yeah. That looks interesting. Alright. Alrighty, here we are at the Mantis. Working on the Mantis. I put it up on end, put some WD-40 in it, took the spark plug out of it. This one, I have to look at my notes here, has been sitting, tiller's been sitting for 5 years. So I ran some oil. Put some oil down the spark plug hole, sprayed some WD-40 in it, and we're going to lightly pull it over. It's been soaking for a couple days. I haven't pulled on it at all. You always want to do that, something been sitting, put some oil in the rings. This is 2-cycle oil. It's 2-cycle, it oils itself by the oil in it. So getting this thing's shooting sparks here. Oh, that's the spark. Yeah, well, we know the spark plug works, or it's getting spark. I was sitting here looking and I seen a little spark down here, and I forgot I had the the spark plug down there. Well, it's getting spark. Let's put the spark plug back in it, and we'll shoot some starting. Alright, I'm back. Battery died. So, put some WD-40 in it before I turned it over. So I don't know if this thing died. Lost that footage or not. I had some WD-40 in the cylinder. Set it for a couple days. Then I pulled on it really easily. It worked just fine. I wanted to get some oil around the rings. This has been sitting for 5 years, so we're going to do the same thing with the chainsaw and the blower when we get to that point. So I put the spark plug back in it. When I was pulling it, I had the wire down here and there's sparks coming off it, so we know we're getting fire. So what I'm going to do, shoot some starting fluid in here, which I think this is open. No, it's not. We'll open the throttle up, shoot some starting fluid in there. I don't see it. Maybe I'm not seeing it. Alright, so we're going to shoot some starting fluid in it. You see it? You probably can't. Let's zip it down. Alright, there it is. Open it up, shoot some starting fluid in it. See if it wants to take off. Alright. Okay, it runs. Sparks. Everything's fine. Time to order a carburetor kit. Or carb. So, this is the Mantis. I think it's a 23cc engine. Something like that. Let's see here. The chokes are somewhere. So yeah, we're going to order a kit for this. It's kind of neat, this Mantis on Amazon. If I show you this, what I was looking for it, you can get the carburetor for this. The primer bulb has a hole in it. Doesn't prime, it's hard as a rock. But it gets the whole carburetor, and they give you a new rubber here that goes into the gas tank, and all these lines. Everything. Carburetor, all this stuff, and a filter, which is this little nasty little thing here. Dirty. And gives you all this. Oh, I'm sorry, the choke is right on here. What am I thinking? The choke is right here. You pull this little lever, and that, well, when it's working, I'll show you. There's usually a screw in there, and they pull that little lever, and that's the choke. But the choke is there somewhere. I just played with it. So, order the parts for this, and wait for those to come in, and we're going to wash this, all the cobwebs and crap off this thing. Probably take the tank off, give that a good washing. Why we're worried about the carb, why we're getting the carb parts, and then we should get this thing going, and then we'll move on to these two. So one at a time, we'll get the parts ordered, and then we'll be back and put it back on. Alrighty, let's blow all the cobwebs off this thing. Get it ready to soak it down. So, alright. Not going to get them all off. Get most of them. Now let's do some simple green. And we'll let that simple green soak for a little bit. We don't care about the cobwebs on these little tines. We'll get the engine stuff clean. Alright. Back it up a bit. Get everything clean. It'll probably get a little bit dirty again, but we're going to clean it up a little bit better. Let's get the gas tank. Got to put the parts on here. Tank doesn't have any gas in it, so we don't have to take that off. Alrighty, nice and clean now. Spider eggs, or what the heck that is. Alright. So, when the carb kit comes in, it should be dry. I think it's going to be in tomorrow. I'll be able to put this thing back together. I'll probably start here on the, what am I going to do next? The chainsaw. This thing keeps falling back. I think the chainsaw was the oldest one. Yeah, the chainsaw was 10 years old, so we're going to do the blower. We'll save the best for last. So what I'm going to do with the blower, like I did with the tiller, take the plug out of it, put some WD-40 down in the cylinder, put the cylinder upright so the WD-40 gets around the rings, let it sit overnight, and then lightly pull the cord to get everything lubed up. So that's where we'll be at tomorrow. Alright. And then after that, hopefully the carburetor will be in, and then we'll put that all together on the Mantis. Hello. Went up and got some dinner. I already put the plug back in this one. Put the plug back in, or pulled it and got the WD-40 out of it. Put the plug back in. And there's still some gas in this one. This one's been sitting for, blower's been sitting for 3 years. So let's see if we can do something with this thing. Let's see here. So there's choke. And it's on. Give it a couple of pumps. Slow to return. Another pump. Let's see if we can get this thing to run, huh? Whoa! That's cool. Well, that was interesting. Started after 3 years. Okay. Well, I got the chainsaw still soaking. Of course, that one sat the longest. I'm going to let that sit overnight. This one only sat for 3 years. And so, well, that's cool. I think what I'll do is probably tomorrow there's a little bit of gas in the chainsaw. I already looked through that. So I might take and pour some this gas into there to make sure to cover up that stone filter in the tank. See if we get that started. Maybe we'll get lucky. That's been sitting 10 years. I don't think that'll start, but hey, you never know. I'm going to have to replace the carburetor on this blower. I kind of figure I'd have to. It's bogging out even after it's warmed up. You can't take it off. It starts out with choke, and then once you get it to sputter, and this thing actually started right up, I went to half choke. I could run it for a while at half choke, wide open. It just bogged down. It's probably all gummed up in there. So we'll have to replace the carburetor in that one, and probably the chainsaw too. So, but that's pretty cool. The blower started right up. All right, so tomorrow we'll do the chainsaw, and then hopefully the carburetor will be in for the Mantis. So, and have a good night. Nice out. I don't know what's the temperature. It's about 50 degrees in my garage. Door's been open for a while, so it's probably about 45 or so outside. But all right, been a nice day today, and that's it. Hey everybody, I'm back from the endangered species list. I get sick. Came down sick Sunday night. I was off Monday and Tuesday. Or wait a minute, I'm sorry, I was off Monday. I was sick. Started to get sick Monday night, and I was off Tuesday and Wednesday. I was supposed to be back to work. I don't know, I got some kind of head cold. I'm just getting over it now, and my ears were ringing and sore throat, and just felt bad, you know. Of course, I was on a boat with 3,000 other people, and then I went to the Los Angeles airport, which, you know, we probably hundreds of thousands of people went there before me, and then we went to Chicago, sat in Chicago for a while, and partake of some of the food there, and all in all, I caught something from somebody. Alright, so I'm back. I wanted to show you this kit that I was able to get from Amazon. It works really well with with what I have to do for Mantis here. It has a lot of goodies. Usually all you do, you just get the carburetor and a gasket, and that's it. That's usually what you get right there. Is the carburetor and the gasket, and that's all you get. But this one is nice. I mean, it's got a spark plug. You get spark plug. But this one has, this is the thing that I like the most. It's got this deal, rubber gasket deal that goes into the gas tank. But instead of one, you have a few of them here. Well, I guess that's one for maybe later years. This is the one right here. Wait a minute, show it here. It's all one piece. So this is the stone that goes down into the tank, and then one of these looks like a breather that goes up, and I'll show you up in the little plastic cowl. Then one of these is this one is the fuel line. Wait a minute so you can see it. This is the fuel line, and this clear one is the return line. So it's pretty neat that this has this little grommet with the 3 holes in it for these 3 lines. And I checked out the carburetor. I'll look at it again just to make sure that everything looks all kosher on it. It does. Okay. So I'm going to set that to one side. That was pretty neat that they had those. I was worried about having to pull lines through that little grommet in the gas tank, because that grommet in the gas tank, I'll show you here, is hard as a rock. Let me get around behind the camera so I can zoom in on where we're at. Right there. That grommet is hard as a rock. You cannot. And if you got in here and started prying on this thing with a screwdriver, you could crack this gas tank really easy. You're not going to be able to find another gas tank. So what I'm going to do here, I'm not going to cut those wires off. I'm going to cut the fuel line. This is the main fuel line. The lower one is. I think I made a diagram of it. Okay, yeah, the diagram. This is the main fuel line. This lower one. Let's see if we can get a better angle on that. So that's the main fuel line here. This is the return, and here's that little thing that goes up in here. It's I think it's air breather. It goes up in this little deal here. Well, it just broke off. Shows you how brittle everything is. Just hard and brittle. Of course, this one sat for 5 years, and just, you know, being out in the sun and stuff. So I'm gonna cut these lines, and then I'm going to take the screws off the back of the tank, and let's back this up here. So that's what I'm going to do now. Grab my cutter, cut those lines, take the gas tank off. Oh, it was a cold one today. Yes, it was below 30 this morning when heading to work. There's that line there. There's that line there. Just watch it, don't cut something. Right. You hear that? That's pretty crunchy. Alright, let's grab a couple of these. These are on by Phillips. Oh boy, those are really in there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back from having fun. I had to get this driver. This is what I use on like motorcycle side case covers. It's like you hammer on the back side of this, and it turns it with a motion and breaks the screws loose. Well, as you can see here, this screw has a bunch of ash on it. That's from the aluminum housing, and this is steel and into aluminum, and it just locks it in there. Now the bottom one doesn't have any on there, but man, that was a little bugger to get off. It hardly has anything on it compared to, let me see, show you side by side here. See, this one doesn't have anything on it. This other one is all ash. I'll clean the threads, put a little never seize on there when I go to tighten those up. This tank's got some stuff in it. That little tube, there's a little weight in there that holds that to the bottom. That's where the end of the filter is. That's this little thing right here. That's in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a drill. I'm going to drill in the center of this grommet, and then I can take that out of there, and then we'll get rid of what's ever in there, and I'll show you. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's drill a hole. Still see what I'm doing there? Okay. Oh! Bit fell out of the chuck. Alright. We'll drill that one. Alright. Let's see if that comes out any easier. Okay, the pipes in there come out. Maybe that cutter. There. Make it a little easier to come out. Spin a little lube around. Alright, now let's see if it'll come out. Oh. It's getting there. Just want to make sure I don't cut the tank. Come on, baby. Almost out. There we go. There it is. There we go. There it is. Finally came out. Well, we still got some rattly bits in there. Take the gas cap off and get some other things up in here. There we go. This hose in here broke off, so oh, look at that. It just, there's a stone. A little bit different. See if we can get all the parts out of it. There's all kinds of junk coming out of this one. Oh, there it is. It's this little piece here. Yep, there you go. This little piece here fits in the cap. Let me back it up here. This little piece here fits in the cap, and when you took the cap off, it would hang there. This little thing there keeps the gas cap from falling away from the gas tank, but it's all brittle now, so that doesn't work anymore. So that's everything out of the gas tank. And I'm going to clean this thing up. I'll clean this thing up before I go back in with it. I'm going to have to wash this tank out with some, maybe some brake clean. So let me get that all cleaned up, and we'll get this thing all put back together. Alright, I'll be back.